In a major move which may alter the political landscape of Tamil Nadu, sources are telling India Today that the BJP is looking to make some kind of a peace between the ruling AIA-DMK, its ally, and the Sasikala faction or the AMMK. The reasons are pretty clear to see, but for those of you who don't know, this continues to be one of the most tantalizing political questions ahead of the Tamil Nadu election. Here's everything we know, and here's why a possible truce between Sasikala and the AIA-DMK could be an enormous game changer if it happens. The BJP is singing the Chinnamma tune. Despite the ruling AIA-DMK's 100% no to Sasikala's return to the AIA-DMK, the party is now in a spot of bother, as its ally, the BJP, is said to be batting for an alliance, or at least burying the hatchet between the AIA-DMK and Sasikala.
Big suspense over Sasikala factor is still prevailing in the state of Tamil Nadu. During the election, seat-sharing talks, BJP is said to have inquired about the hold TTV Dinakaran and Sasikala has over the Deva community votes in the south of the state.
The BJP's apparent endorsement for a truce is for good reason. There's growing worry for the AIA-DMK that Sasikala could eat into the Deva vote bank of the party, as Chinnamma belongs to the influential community. She could then have a vote cutter effect which will translate to advantage DMK. And then there's the fact that Sasikala is trying hard to divide the AIA-DMK ranks and get top leaders over to her side. These are facts that the AIA-DMK cannot afford to ignore, but so far at least they remain stubborn in their stand that there's no place for Sasikala in the party. Chinnamma, however, seems to be more open to the option. In her recent interactions with supporters, Sasikala has refrained from attacking the AIA-DMK.
அவர்களை வீழ்த்த சபதமேற்று நாம் உழைத்து அம்மாவுக்கு வெற்றியை சேர்க்க வேண்டும் என்று அன்போடு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
Her nephew TTV Dinakaran, however, seems to be banking on some other options for his AMMK.
Thank you so much.
It's also a rumor only, speculation only. Within 2-3 days you will come to know. People know that AMK will give the real Amma's government Tamil Nadu. For that we will work hard and people will support us. Surely we will form the Amma's government.
TTV Dinakaran is reportedly considering other alliance options, but all of them are with a big if, relying heavily on the AIA-DMK and DMK bungling their own seat-sharing talks. The AIA-DMK's nagging Sasikala headache isn't going anywhere, and with ally the BJP now proposing a truce, will EPS bury the hatchet with Chinnamma? With Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today. And remember, this discussion about Sasikala came up in discussions between the BJP and the ruling AIA-DMK in Tamil Nadu over the last few days. And our sources are telling us that this is an affirmation in many ways of the political threat that Sasikala may actually pose to the alliance in Tamil Nadu and may favor the DMK, and that's why this is happening. But it also comes on the back of Sasikala pretty much affirming her political power through sheer numbers and optical spectacle. Take a look at Sasikala's journey from Bengaluru to Chennai. Over the last few days, there have been a lot of images where Sasikala has really flexed political muscle. When she was discharged from the Bengaluru hospital in February after serving her sentence in the disproportionate assets case. Remember these images from Bengaluru. Then you had these images of her in her convoy waving the AIA-DMK flag. Her car had the AIA-DMK flag despite rules against it. She was able to work around those rules, but it was a show of defiance. Then you had the huge welcome for Chinnamma. Those images that nobody's forgotten, and I'm sure Chinnamma loves these images because they spoke for her louder than anything else. And these were just a few weeks ago when she came back to Chennai. thousands upon thousands of supporters and crowds greeting her all the way from Bengaluru all the way till Chennai. The long journey where at every stop she was mobbed by these supporters who they say are the real AIADMK cadres. Then this was the scene when Shashikala reached the heart of Chennai. The first image of her was of her at the MGR residence in a bid to send out a clear message that it was Amma and now it is Chinnamma. So you had Shashikala embracing the symbolism of MGR as soon as she reached Chennai. It was her clear message to her rivals in the AIADMK, namely EPS and OPS, that she is back in the political arena. She garlanded an MGR statue and basically projected herself as the undisputed leader of the AIADMK. And now these are the big questions we're asking. Now the BJP, which appears to have acknowledged the power projected by Sasikala, doesn't want her to be a troublemaker in this election and therefore perhaps wants to foment some kind of truce. Question number one, is the BJP trying to disarm the Sasikala threat? Question two, is the BJP wary of the damage that Shashikala can inflict in this election if she is not a friendly entity? Question three, is the BJP hoping for a tentative peace with Sasikala till the elections are over so that she doesn't play spoiler and benefit the DMK? Is the fact that the BJP wants some kind of truce or is rumored to want some kind of truce with Sasikala a confirmation of Shashikala's political clout? She'll be very happy when she hears this. And will the EPS-OPS combine succumb to ally pressure from the BJP and actually bury the hatchet? Remember, EPS and OPS have said EPS has said there is no way, 100% no chance of Shashikala coming back into the party. And finally, will Shashikala herself bury the past grudges against EPS and in some way unite once again with her party? Lots of moving parts in this developing story, but it is the most tantalizing political story ahead of the assembly elections. Pramod Madhav was the journalist who broke that story yesterday about sources telling us that the BJP had brought up the Sasikala issue during talks with the AIADMK and that there is a possible suggestion that peace needs to be made with Shashikala so that she does not play spoiler in this election. Isn't that right, Pramod? The fear is it is better to co-opt Sasikala and disarm her right now rather than pay the price for her as a political rival later.
Absolutely, Shiv. Even though the Chief Minister might go ahead and say that Shashikala is not 100% inside the party, no one from the party is even ready to speak against her. Imagine on 24th of February, after Jayalalitha's birthday, a statement was released carrying AIADMK flag and calling Shashikala as the General Secretary of the party. And till now, no one from the party has even stated anything against it. And the crucial part here is that Deputy Chief Minister and the coordinator of the party, AIADMK, O. Pannirselvam, has not even said a word regarding Shashikala so far or any kind of issue that is related to Shashikala. And this is where it looks like a check has been kept for the Chief Minister. And here BJP, along with the support of O. Pannirselvam, allegedly is trying to bring in Shashikala once again, stating that her support is very much needed to garner vote, especially from the southern part of Tamil Nadu.
Very, very interesting. Pramod, thank you very much for that. The very fact that Sasikala has even come up in these discussions is in many ways a validation perhaps of her political potency in this election. Nobody wants to take any risks. The AIADMK is fighting an anti-incumbency. The DMK is emboldened, but they also see a threat in Sasikala. So this is a very interesting development here. Joining me live from Chennai this evening, Kovai Satyan, spokesperson of the ruling party, the AIADMK, Vivek Reddy, leader of the BJP, and Mr. C. Rajshekaran, who's an advocate and founder of Voice of Tamil Nadu. Good evening to all of you. Kovai, I'd like to come to you first. You know, this is a question that is going to come up again and again in this election. You have answered it many times, but there have been so many twists and turns in it that it is going to continue to be front and center. So you will forgive me for bringing it up again, Kovai, because now it emerges that in the talks between the BJP and the AIADMK, our sources are telling us that this has come up and that somewhere the BJP wants the AIADMK to make some kind of peace with Shashikala so that she does not damage the AIADMK's campaign in this election. Your response to that, Kovai?
Sure. We can understand if an Aam Janata gets carried away by gaining his profound knowledge through WhatsApp University and social media. And today I'm surprised that even that your journalists are not an exception to the same. You rightly pointed out saying that our sources say, I have to question the credibility of your sources then. Or else I have to take that your sources, what you mention is from the same WhatsApp University and social media. For an issue which doesn't even hold 0.1% of weightage, and we are discussing here on a national media which has been viewed by lakhs and lakhs of people. We have repeatedly said the doors are closed and there is no room for her.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to understand why media doesn't believe. Because the decision makers have clearly said, the message is loud and clear, there is no room for Shashikala or anybody else or even from AMMK faction. Is it too hard for media to palate this message?
No, I agree. I hear what you're saying, Kovai, but the point is that, you know, these are discussions that are taking place behind closed doors. So it's our duty to ask.
Can you reveal me your sources? Then I can check the credibility and answer.
Okay, so you're saying you're categorically. No, I respect that. Kovai, I respect that. You are categorically saying that there is no question of taking Sasikala back or any kind of peace. Vivek, to bring you in, is the BJP also denying this story outright? Because we are quite sure of our sources. We are quite sure of our story that the BJP is actually quite wary of Sasikala's potency in this election. They don't want her to, be a damaging influence in the outcome of this election. And the BJP believes it's better to make some kind of tentative peace, at least for the duration of this election, so that there is no damaging effect.
Well, Shiv, I think I have to deny this because there is no official position taken by the BJP regarding this, number one. Second, I don't think there is any internal talks regarding this from our sources. I don't think the BJP is insisting on this as part of the alliance talks or as part of the alliance. I guess it is very clear that the BJP and AIDMK alliance is going strong in Tamil Nadu, and Shashikala as of now is not something that is being discussed as part of this mixed bag in alliance. And I don't think that is of any, I would not say political significance, but I would say that in the present scenario, so far as what is going on in the currency of Tamil Nadu politics, I think it is just the alliance between BJP and AIDMK without any third party.
Okay, Mr. Rajshekaran, both the AIADMK and the BJP, quite expectedly are denying this story. They are categorically saying there is no question of any peace with Sasikala. This is going to be AIADMK and BJP fighting this election. But, am I wrong in believing that there is an acknowledgement somewhere here, not by the two gentlemen I have on the show, but the fact that these bits of news are coming out from these meetings, that Sasikala is a force to reckon with, is being acknowledged by these two parties, and they don't want to, lose sight of the fact that she can be, a variable or a googly in this election, and they don't want to risk that, Mr. Rajshekaran.
With due respect to your viewers and all others in the panel and yourself, with my political experience with three parties which I've traveled, and my understanding of Tamil Nadu politics for more than 3 decades, because I think I am more competent than all of you to speak about the real ground scenario in India today. See, the loser is not Shashikala. I'll make it very clear. I'm not going to support anybody. I'm not going to defend, or I'm not going to oppose or make any nasty accusations like anybody else. But I will speak the truth. See, the ground reality and scenario is totally against the mood of whatever the panelists of the concerned party are speaking. See, if Mrs. Sasikala is not accepted or inducted or made the General Secretary as they claim, she is not going to be the loser. The loser is the alliance. The BJP, NDA, ADMK alliance is the loser. Simple and straight. You ask me how? I'll tell you. See, in northern Tamil Nadu, they claim PMK will bag all the seats, which is next to impossible. In southern Tamil Nadu and central Tamil Nadu, they say we are not bothered. See, one thing you have to understand. ADMK is a collective party which represents all the caste and community. When it is elections, the caste factor plays a vital role. And I wouldn't say that Shashikala is from this community. No. Shashikala was a collective leader. See, there were Dalit leaders selected by Shashikala when she was at Helm of Affairs, along with Madam Jayalalitha. There were Gounders, there were Vaniyars, there were Mudaliyars, there were all other caste Muslims, Christians were all handpicked by Shashikala.
Let me get Kovai to answer that.
No, I'll tell you. No. But let me finish.
Yeah.
She was seen as a collective leader. She never took sides because all of them, when you go back and just rewind what all she had spoken in last week. See, let's understand. When Madam Jayalalitha said it's Modi or lady, the people of Tamil Nadu and the ADMK cadres voted for the lady, Madam Jayalalitha. Today, the scenario or the situation at ground and the mindset of the people and the ADMK cadres have not changed.
Okay.
But it may change. We have to see post-elections only.
Let's see the post-election scenario will change. I want to stick with the pre-election scenario for just a moment now. Let's take this step by step. Let's take this step by step. I'll come back to the post-election scenario. But Kovai, the suggestion being made by Mr. Rajshekaran is that if an alliance or some kind of truce does not happen, I accept you have categorically said it's not going to happen, but how would you respond to the suggestion that she will not be the loser if this alliance does not happen or this truce is not made?
No, I am no one to talk on behalf of Shashikala whether she is going to be the achiever or the loser. I have nothing to do with her ambitions, I have nothing to do with her life. And she has to take onus for the same. But as far as the AIADMK is concerned, this party has marched far ahead, marched forward, and it has seen all the turbulences what you can imagine, what you can read on the books. We have seen the most turbulent times, we have seen the heights of turmoil, and we have crossed all over, and leaders were capable enough to steer this party forward, march this party forward towards the third consecutive term. So our goal in front of us is only one. 2021 has to be the government of AIADMK for the third consecutive term by creating history. So we are very much aware where all the noises can come. And yes, the faction, what you mentioned, Shashikala and Dinakaran, would be definitely the noise-making arena, which our leaders have also taken cognizance of.
Okay.
And we are very much aware of the facts on the ground as well. Yes, there are people like Rajshekaran who watch their opinion based on their knowledge and acumen. We don't deny the fact, but we are capable enough to understand that, we are capable enough to take it forward, and we have solutions how to handle that as well.
Mr. Rajshekaran, you can come to the point of the post-election scenario now, because the point here is, you know, obviously every party is going to say we are confident in our alliance, we don't need anybody, the doors are shut to Shashikala. But given Shashikala's power projection, the BJP, you know, the sense one gets is that the BJP may be a little nervous that in the case of a very close fight, the Shashikala factor could make the difference. She could play vote cutter and therefore spoiler in the election, and that is something that does not want, that should not be risked. That's the reason why these feelers are perhaps being sent out.
Shiv Arur, incidentally, last week I had an opportunity to interact with Mrs. V.K. Shashikala Natarajan for the first time. And it was a 20-minute discussion with her. You won't believe, I thought she would bombard every next ADMK leader. And to my shock and surprise, she said that we have to ensure that ADMK wins again. Whoever may be the chief, let it be Edappadi Palani. I mean, I was really, so much of knowledge she had about politics of Tamil Nadu. I applaud her because she never spoke anything against ADMK. Neither she said these people have done this and all. No complaints against anybody. She said our one-point agenda should be oppose. We should oppose the DMK, and we should ensure ADMK Amma's government is formed again. See, she is a brilliant lady. That's what I understood from the meeting. And she had handled DMK tooth and nail as an opposition for 30 years. And she faced the powerful might of Kalaignar Karunanidhi. Today, I wouldn't say that Stalin is not powerful, but he cannot match the political knowledge and acumen of Kalaignar Karunanidhi. But in spite of that, she and Madam Jayalalitha together joined hands and they fought. DMK came to power, and the last election.
No, are you saying she will not play spoiler then? Are you saying that no matter what, she will help the AIADMK?
No, I'll tell you what she told me. I'll tell, because I am not privy to any kind of false information. She told me ADMK is Amma's baby. All the MLAs and ministers are Amma's children. So we cannot kill our own children, own baby. So this party has to grow. So I will give my life to ensure everybody comes together. I have nothing against anybody, because it is politics. Sometimes so many other untold reasons. People are not interested in taking her back. But the whole world, Tamil Nadu, knows why these people are resisting from joining her or bringing back her or giving the General Secretary post, because for the obvious reasons. Because so many players. No, seriously, I'm telling.
I want Kovai to respond to that. I want Kovai to respond to that.
No, I'll tell you.
Because there are several people.
Not to damage ADMK.
Kovai, there are several people within the AIADMK who do not criticize Shashikala openly. You've got Shashikala who says that the only enemy here is the DMK. It's not the AIADMK. Mr. Rajshekaran, who has met Shashikala last week, says she has said that AIADMK is Amma's baby. There is no question of damaging them. It looks like the peace has already been made. Even though the doors are closed, Kovai, to Shashikala, it looks like there is already a political peace with her. Is that the truth?
No, Shiv, I'll tell you.
Let Kovai answer. I'll come back to you. Let Kovai answer.
Shiv, all I can say is the enlightenment has dawned upon her finally, that yes, she had found her place. Now everybody who says that AIADMK, many cadres are after her, many cadres are loyal to her, it's not the case. The feel in the camp is pretty much clear. They have seen how Edappadiar steered this governance forward, how Mr. OPS cooperated, and they all both stood united to take this party forward and prevented this party from falling like a pack of cards. So everybody understood that leadership demonstrated their caliber and mettle at the toughest of times. Like they say in English, the tough time doesn't last, but the tough people do. So yes, they have demonstrated their leadership qualities, political acumen and caliber. This party had moved forward. So there is no room, there is no need for anybody who claim to be the external influencers or sources to guide this party at this moment.
This is interesting.
The message is loud and clear.
But is there a BJP factor in this? I'll get Mr. Rajshekaran to pose the point, and I'll get Vivek Reddy to answer. Mr. Rajshekaran, is the BJP apprehensive about the Shashikala factor? Because is the BJP also apprehensive of the fact that the AIADMK, its ally with whom it's having these seat-sharing talks right now, which have not been completely successful yet, is the BJP more apprehensive about this categorical closed-door policy to Shashikala? Is that what they want to change in your view, Mr. Rajshekaran?
Hey, Shiv, BJP is the most powerful party in the world as on date, and we have the two best political stalwarts. One is Prime Minister Mr. Modi and another one is Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah. Mr. Amit Shah is a man who means business, who does business with people who he means worth. But in my opinion, BJP should or definitely would understand that if this alliance, without bringing everybody together, if they go ahead, definitely 500,000 votes, because 2016 elections, if you just check the data, statistics, 100, 200 votes also, few MLAs won. So it is going to be a very tough election this time, because there are no two big icons like Kalaignar, Karunanidhi and Madam Jayalalitha. See, I wouldn't say, I will not undermine, I would not use any kind of wrong term to even anybody in ADMK or BJP, because everybody has worked hard.
Yeah, no, of course. No, that's the reason. That's the reason why it's an interesting election, sir. That's the reason why it's an interesting element. Because otherwise, the things that have changed in this election are not that many. The one thing we all agree on: first election since the tragic passing away of both Jayalalitha as well as Karunanidhi. You've got the BJP who are using a lot of muscle now in Tamil Nadu because they want to establish some kind of a presence in this election. And then you have this tantalizing Sasikala factor. It's not a figment of our imagination. Clearly, the TTV Dinakaran faction wants to show some muscle. They believe that they have been able to do a little bit, but they want to do a lot more. Vivek Reddy, answer what Mr. Rajshekharan is saying, that the BJP, no matter what the intentions may be, ultimately, this is a high-stakes election, and the BJP being the election masters, as it were, they don't want to leave anything to chance, and that's where this Shashikala factor comes in.
Well, I think that's a good question that you posed, Shiv. But the issue here is that BJP is strong on its own footing. It has new energy. It has new resonance with the people. Its connect with the people is very strong this time. And it definitely has a presence. How far Shashikala, which is an internal matter within the AIDMK, how far Shashikala can prop up the AIDMK, or how far AIDMK is already on the roll. It is having very good impact in Tamil Nadu. AIDMK being the dominant partner.
Okay.
I think this is something which is an internal matter for the AIDMK to decide. But going by what is there today, today's current political status, I think the alliance is winning. The BJP is finding new hope in Tamil Nadu. It is finding new response, a real resonance from the people, and its energy is very high.
Okay.
And BJP being masters in election, definitely we will stand to gain in these elections, and BJP will have made an imprint upon the Tamil Nadu politics, irrespective of Shashikala's involvement within AIDMK.
Okay, Kovai Satyan, Vivek Reddy, C. Rajshekharan, thank you very much, gentlemen, for being with me here on 5 Live. The tantalizing Sasikala question, only, very small window for the Tamil Nadu election, but we'll obviously have the best coverage on the 12th and 13th of this month. We've got an amazing Tamil Nadu South Conclave that's going to be happening in Chennai as well. Look out for our advertisements on that conclave as well. We've got the best stakeholders and the best guests.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.